Hello everyone, my name is Biswas Singh and I welcome you all at Uruvela BPSC. Today in this video format, I am going to discuss India's space program. ये टॉपिक BPSC मेंस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. अभी रिसेंटली स्पेस से रिलेटेड न्यूज़ रही लाइक इसरो का एक नया कॉमर्शियल आर्म का इनाग्रेशन किया गया जिसका नाम है न्यू स्पेस इंडिया लिमिटेड. गगनयान मिशन न्यूज़ में थी. PSLV की गोल्डन जुबली सेलिब्रेट की गई. मिशन शक्ति को एग्जीक्यूट किया गया. चंद्रयान 2 न्यूज़ में थी. तो इन सारी चीज़ों को देखकर एक इंडिया का जो स्पेस प्रोग्राम बनता है ये एक पोटेंशियल क्वेश्चन हो सकता है लाइक इन द कमिंग BPSC मेंस एग्जाम. So let's see what can be the things we can find out from this video. So moving towards India's space program. Friends, in this video, generally I'm going to discuss three things like evolution of India's space program, recent mission, and future missions. Okay, so let's have a look. Like space exploration has always been a part of humans' curiosity. The required technology to overcome the force of gravity and invention of space related scientific equipment paved the way for space exploration to become a reality. This thing you can add in your introduction. Looking at this space as a new resource, several countries, including India, have made tremendous efforts to understand the laws of space. In fact, these efforts have proved useful for humankind in many ways. India has done immensely in the development of space technology for various applications, from a humble beginning with sound rockets in 1960s to the launch of a spacecraft to Mars and the Moon in 2000. The Indian space program has made remarkable progress through well integrated and self reliant programs. Self sufficiency, indigenization, exclusive satellites, and a robust launching vehicles form part of the strategy of our space program. So यहाँ पे हमने दिखाया कि हमारी स्ट्रैटी क्या है स्पेस प्रोग्राम 1960 से हमने शुरू किया साउंड रॉकेट से और हम लोग मार्स और मून तक भी हम लोग स्पेस क्राफ्ट को भेज चुके हैं. सो दिस कैन बी थिंग्स यू कैन ऐड इन योर इंट्रोडक्शन. So friends, we move with the evolution part. Let's see what can we add in the evolution part. So, being a developing nation and keeping in mind the economic condition and technological sophistication of a space program, India followed a slow but sure approach, concentrating for the first few years upon establishing the necessary infrastructure before moving on to acquire experience of relevant technology. India engaged in the space research activities during the early 1960s and has grown and evolved significantly since the formation of Indian National Committee for Space Research, that is INCOSPER, as the first step in the field of space research. So हमने सबसे पहले एक फॉर्मेशन हुआ इंडिया में INCOSPER, दैट इज़ इंडियन नेशनल कमिटी फॉर स्पेस रिसर्च, और वहाँ से हमारी जर्नी टुवर्ड्स स्पेस रिसर्च स्टार्ट हुई. ये आपको नोट आप इसे ध्यान रखें कि इनकॉस्पर वॉज फॉर्म्ड बाय द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एटॉमिक एनर्जी अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ डॉक्टर साराभाई एंड डॉक्टर रामानाथन इन 1962, एंड इनकॉस्पर वॉज लेटर रीनेम्ड एज इसरो, इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ऑन अगस्त 15, 1969. ये क्वेश्चन अक्सर लाइक प्री में भी पूछे जाते हैं कि इसरो का गठन कब हुआ, तो आप इसे ध्यान रखें कि दैट इज़ ऑन 15 अगस्त 1969. So friends, India's space program originally focused on developing a space assets that could provide direct developmental benefits. For example, telecommunication and remote sensing satellites that provided communication facilities and assistance to Indian farmers. But as the time passes, India shifted a part of its focus towards a space exploration and other high-profile missions such as India's Mars and Moon exploratory missions. According to the demand of time, the space program of India included developing a robust launch capacity, satellite system, human space flight, technologies for space exploration, academic and research institutions, commercialization of space assets and applications, international coordination, and security needs, etc. So in this video we are just going to see क्या क्या एवोल्यूशन हुई इन सारी चीज़ों में, लाइक लॉन्चिंग कैपेसिटी में क्या हुआ, सैटेलाइट सिस्टम में हमने क्या किया, ह्यूमन स्पेस फ्लाइट जो कि हमारा नेक्स्ट टारगेट है, So these kind of topics that we are going to discuss in this video. So well friends, starting with the satellite system, let's see. Beginning with the Aryabhat, the first Indian satellite launched in 1975, India has developed a strong network of satellites for a number of purposes using INSAT and IRS systems. So, what is INSAT system exactly? So, well, INSAT or Indian National Satellite System, commissioned in 1983, is a multi-purpose satellite system for telecommunication, television broadcasting, meteorology, disaster warning, navigation, and search and rescue. Besides these all, INSAT satellites are today widely used for interactive education, developmental and business communication, and telemedicine as well. Well, INSAT satellites are GSATs, that is geostationary satellites, which are placed in geosynchronous orbit at an altitude of around 36,000 km with an orbital period the same as the Earth's rotation period. Well, the next is IRS system, and this is Indian Remote Sensing Satellite System, commissioned in 1988, forms a part of the Earth observation satellites, which are used in the areas of agriculture, water resources, forestry and ecology, geology, watersheds, marine fisheries, coastal management, mineral prospecting, environmental impact analysis, wetland mapping, urban planning, land use mapping, hydrogeomorphological maps, disaster management, etc. etc. So IRS सिस्टम का इन सारी चीज़ों में यूज़ है. And just to note that India has the world's largest constellation of remote sensing satellites, and these satellites are placed in polar synchronous orbit. हमने जो ये आई आर एस सिस्टम जो इंडियन रिमोट सेंसिंग सैटेलाइट से इसे सन सिंक्रोनस ऑर्बिट में प्लेस किया जाता है. Well, the next second one, we are just going to see a robust launching capacity. So friends, launching vehicles of India mainly includes I have just left V, that is PSLVs and GSLV series vehicles. And India initiated its launch vehicle program with SLV-3 or Satellite Launch Vehicle 3. The next version was ASLV, that is Augmented Satellite Launch Vehicle. These two, SLV and ASLV, were decommissioned when ISRO developed PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. PSLV or Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, it is a medium lift launch system originally developed to lift Indian remote sensing satellites into sun synchronous orbits, but now it can also launch small size satellites into geostationary transfer orbit. PSLV variants are like PSLV CA, PSLV XL, etc. The next one is GSLV or Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. It is also a medium lift launch system. It can place approximately 5,000 kg into low Earth orbit and 2,500 kg into geostationary transfer orbit. The variants of GSLV include GSLV Mk1, GSLV Mk2, GSLV Mk3. Friends, there are more information on PSLV and GSLV, but we have to write our answer according to the demand of question, that is India's space program. If we go into the details, that can be a long answer. So well, a little information I have added. And just remember SSLV, that is Small Satellite Launch Vehicle. It has been developed with the aim of launching a small satellites commercially at reduced price and higher launch rate as compared to PSLV. And also remember, unlike the PSLV and GSLV, the SSLV can be assembled both vertically and horizontally. ये भी रिसेंटली डेवलप किया गया है और किया ही जा रहा है लॉन्चिंग व्हीकल्स में, दैट इज SSLV. तो आप इसे याद रखना, स्मॉल सैटेलाइट लॉन्च व्हीकल. Well, the next we are going to see academic and research institutions. Under its space program, India set up the Department of Space and a Space Commission in 1972, and in the same year ISRO was also brought under the Department of Space. तो आप इसे भी याद रखें. And ISRO started the RESPOND, that is Sponsored Research Program, in the 1970s with the objective of encouraging academia to participate and contribute in various space related research activities. Apart from this, तो आप इसे याद रखें, that is one RESPOND, the first one. And apart from this, ISRO has also set up space technology cells at premier institutions like IITs Bombay, Kanpur, Kharagpur and Madras, IISc Bengaluru, and a joint research program with Savitri Bhai फुले पुणे यूनिवर्सिटी टू कैरी आउट थीमेटिक रिसर्च एक्टिविटीज़। तो इसरो ने पहला तो रिस्पॉन्ड हो गया। सेकंड वन, स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी सेल्स डेवलप किए जा रहे प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूशंस में। ISRO has also opened Space Technology Incubation Centers, that is STIC, at premier technical universities in India, which will incubate startups to build application and products. यह startups को promote करेगी। What is STIC? That is Space Technology Incubation Center. आप इन चीज़ों को ध्यान रखें। Respond STC, that is a Space Technological Cells. Second one, STIC, Space Technology Incubation Centers. And the third one, that is RACS, that is Regional Academic Center for Space. It is a regional level new initiative to pursue advanced research in the areas of relevance to the future technological and programmatic नीड्स ऑफ द इंडियन स्पेस प्रोग्राम। तो वेल आपको इन सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखना है। एंड रिसेंटली इन जनवरी 2020 इसरो हैज सेट अप RACS एट नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी कर्नाटका इन बेंगलुरु। ये रिसेंटली न्यूज़ में थी कि ओके इसरो ने फ़िलहाल रिसेंटली जो है एक RACS जो है वो कर्नाटका बेंगलुरु में नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी में इसे सेटअप किया गया है। Well, India has also come up with a number of space centers to better execute its space program. Asia's first space university, that is Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, was established in Thiruvananthapuram in 2007, that is in India. Later on, various space centers with different purpose were established at different locations in India, such as a Space Applications Center at Ahmedabad and recently Northeast Space Application Center at Shillong, Satish Dhawan Space Center Shar in Sriharikota, ISRO Satellite Center in Bengaluru, etc. There are many space centers, so I have just used here a few examples. If you remember, you can write more, or this can be enough. Well, the next we are going to see commercialization of space activities. Antrix Corporation is ISRO's commercialization arm that looks at foreign markets. It is Antrix that facilitates satellite launch vehicles for foreign markets. Countries such as Israel use ISRO's satellite launch vehicles. Antrix involves in marketing of satellites and its components. It also undertakes contracts for building satellites, provides launch vehicle services, and even organize training of manpower and software development. So आप इसे याद रखेंगे कि इसरो का एक कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन आर्म है, दैट इज एंट्रिक्स कॉर्पोरेशन. Well, as ISRO's capabilities is expanding day by day and collaboration with industries is increasing, there is a need to expand the commercial activities as well. With this view, a new and second commercial arm of the ISRO has been set up, named as New Space India Limited, that is NSIL. So recently news में भी थी है. Well, Antrix will handle ISRO's commercial deals with satellites and launch vehicles with foreign customers, whereas NSIL, that is New Space India Limited, it will deal with capacity building of local industry for space manufacturing, such as productionization of PSLVs through Indian industry, manufacturing of SSLV, that is a small satellite vehicles, launch vehicle, हम लोगों ने शुरू में देखा, in collaboration with private sector. So आपको एक आइडिया हो गया होगा कि एंट्रिक्स क्या करेगी और NSIL का काम क्या होगा. So well, the next, that is international cooperation. So friends, to realize the benefits of a space, one nation must work with other in hand to hand. And India has always recognized that a space has dimension beyond national considerations, which can only be addressed along with international partners. There are certain aspects in a space which need a cooperative effort, such as a space and planetary exploratory missions, climate change impacts on Earth, etc. Because of their global impact, that is not limited to a nation only. These things have global impact. So we need international cooperation. Without international partners, we cannot execute our programs regarding space. So international cooperation has been a part of Indian space program since inception, like establishment of Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station, that is still conduct of satellite instructional television experiment site and satellite telecommunication experiment project STEP, launches of Aryabhat, Bhaskar, Apple, IRS satellites, INSAT series of satellites, mission to moon, Mars, etc. These all things have the components of international cooperation. Well, internationally, India is viewed by spacefaring nations as an emerging space power capable of achieving its goals in a more cost effective and time efficient manner. India is doing very well in a space. So, specifically, the developing nation looks to India for assistance in building up their capabilities to derive benefits of a space technology. And India has formal cooperative arrangements and agreements with many countries and their space agencies and many international multilateral bodies such as ESA, that is European Space Agency, SARC, etc. सो आप इसे ध्यान रखना है कि ओके, डेवलपिंग नेशंस जो हैं वो भी इंडिया माने इंडिया इंडिया की तरफ ध्यान दे रहे हैं कि ओके, सो दैट दे कैन टेक बेनिफिट्स ऑफ अ स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी फ्रॉम इंडिया. Well, a few achievements through international cooperations can be seen as follows. तो देखते हैं क्या क्या इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेशन के तहत अचीवमेंट्स रही. तो द फर्स्ट वन, लेट्स सी चंद्रयान 1. इट कैरीड इंटरनेशनल पेलोड्स. सो इंडिया को चंद्रयान जब लॉन्च किया जा रहा था तो इसके थ्रू इसरो ने इंटरनेशनल पेलोड्स को कैरी किया. इसरो नासा का ज्वाइंट मिशन के थ्रू डिस्कवरी ऑफ वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स पाया गया मून सरफेस पे. And friends, remember Chandrayaan 1. Chandrayaan first was launched on 22nd October 2008. The next, Megatropics. This is the Indo-French joint satellite mission for the study of the tropical atmosphere and climate related aspects such as monsoon, cyclones, etc. तो आप इसे याद रखें कि ओके, मेगाट्रॉपिक्स दैट इज इंडो फ्रेंच ज्वाइंट सैटेलाइट मिशन था. सरल, इट इज़ अगेन the Indo-French joint mission, and this is for studying oceans from space. So आप ध्यान रहे और भी एग्जांपल्स पुट कर सकते हैं. लाइक मैंने तो बस यहाँ पे 3 ही रखा, चंद्रयान 1, चंद्रयान 2 भी डाल सकते हैं. चंद्रयान 2 को नहीं डाल सकते हैं, वो कम्प्लीटली इंडिया का था. तो चंद्रयान 1 हम देख सकते हैं. मेगाट्रॉपिक्स, सरल, इस तरीके से आपके पास और भी एग्जाम्पल्स है, आप उसे पुट कर सकते हैं अपने आंसर राइटिंग में. सो वेल, द नेक्स्ट वी सी स्पेस इन नेशनल सिक्योरिटी. नेशनल सिक्योरिटी में इंडिया स्पेस का कैसे क्या यूज करता है वो हम लोग देखते हैं. वेल, India's space program has acquired national overtones over the last decade, and this is possible by India's growing technological capability. But an important part of the reason for this change is the evolving security threat that India has faced, especially in relation with Pakistan and China. स्पेस, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी में स्पेस का यूज़ करना इंडिया के लिए सबसे ज़रूरी पड़ गया, क्योंकि इंडिया को थ्रेट है किससे मिला, पाकिस्तान और चाइना से. हम लोग वॉर भी झेल चुके हैं पाकिस्तान और चाइना से. सो वेल, देखते हैं. द चेंजिंग रीजनल जियोपॉलिटिक्स has also encouraged India to increase its space program towards defending the nation, although security is an integral part of the country's socio-economic development. So friends, the changing regional geopolitics can be understood from the 1960s and 1970s when India went into wars with Pakistan and China. India realized the reality of a nuclear China with whom it fought a border war. In the war with Pakistan, India was militarily confronted simultaneously on 4 sides, with the USA and the UK supporting Pakistan by deploying warships. So these kind of things forced India to use a space in its national security. Well, India is also facing internal security problem due to Naxals and Maoists in many states, illegal influx of intruders from the bordering nations, etc. Well, apart from the land, water, and air, outer space is also emerging as the fourth arena of warfare. Hostile state and non-state actors can damage Indian space assets. तो हम लोग अभी देखेंगे कि स्पेस का यूज़ इंडिया नेशनल सिक्योरिटी के लिए कैसे यूज़ किया, अभी मैं यहाँ पे डिस्कस करने वाला हूँ. वेल, देयरफॉर स्पेस एप्लीकेशंस हैव हेल्प्ड इंडिया टू कम टू, सॉरी, आई मीन टू राइट हियर, ओवरकम So therefore space applications have helped India to overcome these issues in a number of ways. The contribution of Indian space applications in national security can be viewed as the following. Let's see what are those. So starting with the first, that is RISAT or radar imaging satellites, which provide radar images with a high resolution regardless of the time or weather conditions over an area of interest. The next, communication satellites for strategic purposes we can use, uh, and those satellites are GSAT 6 or GSAT 7. Well, optical imaging satellites under the Cartosat series, which provide image with a resolution in centimeters. Geo imaging satellites for acquiring near real time images of the entire Indian subcontinent and the Indian Ocean. इन सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज स्पेस एप्लीकेशन से हम लोग बॉर्डर पे सिक्योरिटी कर सकते, बॉर्डर की सिक्योरिटी और स्ट्रांग हो सकती है। हम लोग सारे एक्टिविटीज़ को या जो जितने भी मूव हो सकते हैं हम लोग उसे देख सकते हैं, कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है। So friends, the world's perception towards a space is also changing. Outer space is emerging as the battleground. Recently, the US President has directed the establishment of the US Space Force, which raises the question of weaponization of a space. स्पेस को वेपनाइज करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, तैयारी की जा रही है कंट्रीज़ के द्वारा. There already exists the militarization of a space, that means using of a space technologies to assist armies on the conventional battlefield that we have already seen. And the next is weaponization of a space. स्पेस में वेपन्स रखे जाने की तैयारी की जा रही है कंट्रीज़ के थ्रू. Well, so in this regard, as the military characteristics of its space program are becoming more evident, India is also moving away from its traditional position of non-weaponization of a space to its national space policies. तो इसके लिए इंडिया ने क्या किया कि India established a defense space agency, that is DSA, in 2019, which is expected to be the forerunner for a full-fledged aerospace command. The next, it is also establishing a defense space research organization, that is DSRO, which is meant to undertake research and development of the capabilities as per the strategy and policy developed by the DSA, that is Defense Space Agency. Well, Indian Armed Forces conducted the country's first ever simulated space warfare exercise called Space Exercise in 2019, which involved the military and the scientific establishment. This is another reflection of the growing synergetic approach between a space and the military. So, and even in 2019, DRDO tested its first anti-satellite ASAT missile as part of Mission Shakti against a live satellites. So these kind of activities have been done by India. There are a few international laws for outer space preventing a country to misuse the outer space. So what are those? So first one is Outer Space Treaty. It is a treaty which prohibits weapons of mass destruction in outer space, and it is not for ordinary weapons. It mandates that use of outer space shall be carried out for the benefit and in the interest of all countries and shall be for all mankind, not for an individual nation. The next, prevention of an arms race in outer space, that is PAROS. It is a UN resolution that reaffirms the fundamental principles of the 1967 Outer Space Treaty and advocates for a ban of the weaponization of space. तो ये जो है प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एन आर्म्स रेस इन आउटर स्पेस, ये वेपनाइजेशन ऑफ स्पेस को होने से बैन लगाती है. Well, the next, friends, we can see human space flight. The next major step for India is the first crewed space mission, that is Gaganyaan, which is to be undertaken by 2022, and this is going to be the next logical step in India's space program. Exactly. And Gaganyaan mission is a crewed orbital spacecraft which is expected to carry 3 people into space for 7 days. With this, India would become the 4th nation to send a man to space after Russia, the US, and China. So these are the things India is doing towards its space program. Well, let's see recent achievements in the field of space. So the first one is IRNSS, that is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. It has been designed to provide accurate real-time positioning and timing services to users in India as well as region extending up to 1500 किलोमीटर from its boundary. So ये IRNSS है, इसे भी ध्यान रखें, इसे भी ऐड करें. This system consists of 7 satellites, and its applications include terrestrial area and marine navigation, disaster management, vehicle tracking and fleet management, navigation aid to travelers and hiker, etc. So these kind of things we have to write about IRNSS in short. Recently, a global standard body, that is 3GPP, which developed protocols for mobile telephony, has approved India's regional navigation system, that is Navik. It will now boost commercial use of Navik by international and domestic mobile device makers. So this is a good news for India. Well, the next Chandrayaan 2, it was a completely indigenous mission and India's second lunar exploration, which was launched on 22nd July 2019 to explore the moon's south pole. Well, Chandrayaan first was launched in 2008. Friends, primary objective of this mission was to demonstrate the ability of soft landing on the lunar surface and operate a robotic rover on of the surface. Well, I have just said about Chandrayaan 1. सो चंद्रयान टू में क्या क्या था, चूँकि रिसेंट था तो मैंने यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ऐड कर दिया है. सो लेट्स सी चंद्रयान टू में क्या क्या थे. तो देर वॉज एन ऑर्बिटर टू ऑब्जर्व द मून सरफेस एंड रिले कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन अर्थ एंड चंद्रयान सेकेंड लैंडर. A lander named as Vikram to execute India's first soft landing on the lunar surface. A rover called Pragyan to move on the lunar surface. तो आप इन 3 चीज़ों को भी ऐड कर सकते हैं चंद्रयान 2 में. And the only glitch remained with this mission was that its lander Vikram failed to reach the lunar surface. So this was the only glitch regarding Chandrayaan 2. Next, we can see GSAT-30. It is India's telecommunication satellite which was launched from Kourou launch base, French Guiana, and it will replace INSAT-4A, which was launched in 2005 and used by cable operators to broadcast their programs abroad. So INSAT-4A की जगह पे अब GSAT-30 वर्क करेगी. Well, GSAT-30 will also provide DTH television service, digital satellite news gathering, e-governance applications, etc. The next we see Gemini. Gemini, or it is Gagan enabled mariner's instrument for navigation and information. It is a device that will receive and transfer data received from Gagan satellites to a mobile through Bluetooth communication. This is a very good technology device, and it will help to deep sea fishermen and also help with information and communication on disaster warnings, potential fishing zones, and ocean states forecast to fishermen. Well, I have just mentioned their Gagan satellites. So Gagan is a GPS aided geo augmented navigation system launched by AAI, that is Airport Authority of India, and ISRO to improve the accuracy of a global navigation satellite system. The next we see Cartosat 3. Cartosats Cartosat satellites are Earth observation satellites used mainly for large scale mapping of the Earth through high resolution camera. Cartosat 3, along with 13 commercial nano satellites, was recently launched by ISRO using PSLV C-47. Well, the next, RISAT 2B R1. The RISAT or radar imaging satellites are used to take pictures of the Earth during day and night and also under cloudy conditions. So this one I just wanted to add. PSLV marked its golden jubilee launch by injecting RISAT 2BR1 and 9 other customer satellites on board PSLV C-48 from Sriharikota. तो ये मेंस के लिए भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है, और प्रीलिम्स के लिए भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट बनता है कि ओके PSLV जो गोल्डन जुबली लॉन्च किया तो क्या नाम था उसका, तो हमें याद रखना PSLV C-48 कौन सा सैटेलाइट को लॉन्च किया गया, तो RISAT 2BR1. So friends, like these were the few examples of recent achievements. Let's see what are future missions under India's space program. So well, starting with Aditya L1 mission. Aditya, another name of our sun. So this is planned for 2021 to study the solar corona. This is not coronavirus. That is, so it is about the solar corona, and the spacecraft to be placed in an orbit around the Sun Earth Lagrangian point, that is L1. सो इस पॉइंट पे जाके इसे प्लेस किया जाएगा स्पेसक्राफ्ट को, और वहाँ से फिर सोलर कोरोना की स्टडी की जाएगी। The next NISAR, that is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. It is a joint project between NASA and ISRO. इसे भी आप ध्यान रखें, निसार, इंडिया इसे एग्जीक्यूट करेगी इन कमिंग फ्यूचर. So well, this is to provide a high resolution radar images which will help in resolving complex processes ranging from ecosystem disturbances to ice sheet collapse and natural hazards like earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, landslides, etc. So this is going to be a good mission, that is NISAR. Well, the next शुक्रयान वन, ये क्या है? शुक्र ग्रह, ओके, Venus planet. So it is a Venusian mission to study the surface and atmosphere of the Venus. तो Venus के लिए इंडिया स्पेस प्रोग्राम का एक फ्यूचर मिशन है जिसका नाम दिया गया है शुक्रयान वन, इसे लॉन्च किया जाएगा. द नेक्स्ट वन, मंगलयान टू, इंडिया सेकेंड इंटरप्लानेटरी मिशन प्लान फॉर लॉन्च टू मार्स. मार्स पे हम लोग सेकेंड टाइम भी स्पेस क्राफ्ट भेजने वाले हैं, दैट इज़ मंगलयान टू प्रोजेक्ट के तहत. एंड वी आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू एग्जीक्यूट चंद्रयान 3, and this is India's third lunar mission which will attempt another soft landing. Sorry, I have left S. So India will attempt another soft landing on the lunar surface. चंद्रयान 2 के तहत जो विक्रम लैंडर था, हम लोग सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग नहीं कर पाए, सो नो प्रॉब्लम, वी आर गोइंग टू डू द सेम इन थ्रू चंद्रयान 3 मिशन and we will do it. So the next, IDRSS, Indian Data Relay Satellite System, which will facilitate India to have its own space-to-space tracking and communication of its space assets. This is a very good one, and it will track, send, and receive real-time information from other Indian satellites. It will be useful in monitoring launches and benefiting crew members of the गगनयान मिशन. हमने गगनयान मिशन को भी एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले हैं, तो ये IDRSS जो है, इंडियन डेटा रिले सैटेलाइट सिस्टम, ये काफ़ी मदद करेगी गगनयान मिशन में. So well friends, these were the things that I wanted to add in India's space program. I hope these things will help you in writing a good answer whenever you get a chance to write an answer on India's space program. I hope you like the video. If this is the case, like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, that is Uruvela BPSC. Thank you very much, and you can also follow us on Telegram and Facebook. Thank you friends, see you in next video.